Wait a minute. Hey! Oh! There it is. Welcome to the Ramble Radio, motherfucker! Come on! Fuck!
But
yeah,
also video.
No.
Also video. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, it isn't.
I'm still trying to find the $483 million bond to put up, but as far as I know, as far as I've been told, still radio.
Well, speaking
until
of
video gets cleared.
Speaking of, you think it's just you and I.
Sure.
It is. And I think that's why I think alt-right Cody is out there trying to, do what he can to
God
try to
bless
get
him.
those
God
funny.
bless him.
Now, okay, have you ever seen that guy Mark Levin? It's like
yes.
First off, his fucking social media avatar. If you ever look, it looks like how your single friend would be like, no way I'm fucking him, right? Like if that's on popping.
It looks
up
like
a
it
dating
looks.
app. He looks like he's 4'1", by the way. He looks like he's 4'1", and he's just like.
It looks like the high school yearbook photo of the driver's ed teacher. That's what it looks like.
Now, but you tell me, this was supposedly from him, but to me, this has CV written all over it.
Okay, let me hear.
What he tweeted: why are there no Republican multi-billionaires offering to lend President Trump the funds to file his appeal in the outrageous case in New York State? Are none of them liquid enough to help or join with others to help? This is an outrage.
That reeks of Viafania.
That reeks. That's a CV. That's a CV.
Because only Cody would go, hey, you know what? Trump claims he's a billionaire, but he can't do it. So let's go over
But he needs help.
But he needs help. Very nice.
He's a bit. Yes, of course he's
masterful
a billionaire.
Work.
Of course he's a billionaire who could afford anything you toss his way. But
everyone else has to help him out.
But everyone isn't that you know what that would be, Eddie? I hope you're sitting. I hope alt-right Cody's sitting down for this. I hope any alt-right folk are sitting down for this. Socialism, huh? How about that?
Somebody else out?
So wow, looks like he needs socialism to bail out Trump. Who would have thought? Oh man, so that's why I think we're not going to have alt-right Cody here today. I think he's he's doing what he can. He's just a man doing what he can. By the way,
man.
I know it's early for this.
Sure.
Are you feeling okay, by the way?
I'm okay.
Okay, I'm sorry to do this then.
All right.
These fucking people.
Fuck, dude. I was having a good day.
Fucking
not a great day, but I was having a solid day.
Solid day. These fucking
solid day.
Here, just subscribe to the Ramble, 5-star rating, positive text review. We love Dahlem, but my God, the Dahlem Cup, this is unprecedented. The heights.
I mean, it may just turn into. We may just have to erect a statue to Zach Dahlem.
It might have to happen. I think that's the next step, isn't it?
I think it is. I don't know what else we do at that
If this
point.
makes it to another week, then I think it's first off, is he on a Ken Jennings-esque, like, does he host the Ramble once we're gone?
At some point, he's our replacement. At some point,
because of how long he's been on the positive text
At some
review.
Point, he's our replacement.
I mean,
once we move on from this, he takes over the Ramble.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So it's been a kind of we'll talk about a few things, but it's been kind of a somber day. We got Lolita's ashes were given. Yeah. You know what, though? Can I say one thing? That's probably the one company that will never get a bad Yelp rating is the cremation. I bet they bat 1,000. How do you fuck that up? It's because no one's ever going to be like, nah, that's not my grandmother.
That's not her.
I'm calling bullshit. That's not her.
Bullshit.
That ain't her. That is not my great uncle. That's not.
Well,
him.
we kind of got a little screwed when we got Buster's ashes.
What?
Not that we. I mean, first of all, you fill out the form. If you want to pay a little more money, they get cremated by themselves. Right. Otherwise, they just get tossed in a big oven with other dead animals, and then they scoop out ashes.
Yeah, right. And they just kind of they guesstimate which one's yours.
Right. I think she was laying over here. We'll just scoop from this pile.
Okay, this looks like her.
So if you pay more, then you get the solo burn. But you're taking their word for it. You're taking their word for it.
It's like when shit says organic at the grocery store. Yes, I want to believe
their word
it,
for it.
But how do we really? Okay.
Do they really have a little oven and then a giant oven and they
right? We'll just put them in
the
little one. That bullshit. Or do they just clear out the big one and waste space for that? I don't know.
You're taking a lot of people's words for it.
We
did the thing. We got the ashes, and we wanted to get a little thing, and then we wanted to go spread them up there at Runyon Canyon where Buster always was.
Right.
So we get the thing back, and it's in this little wooden box with his name engraved on it.
Yeah.
It's like this box you can't open. So now I just have this wooden box with his.
What do you mean you can't open it?
You have to destroy this wooden box to get the ashes.
Why would you do that? It's too nice.
Exactly. So we have this. One thing we did not want to do is to have his ashes laying around because we felt that we just I don't want ashes around. I'd rather go spread them. So now we have this little nice little box with a little engraved name tag, and we're like, fuck.
Do you have to just play catch with the box when you go up Runyon? To kind of, it's like
fucking throw it around, roll it on the ground.
Maybe hope some spill out that way. But I would have to think that's a hard thing but they fucked it up. They fucked it up.
I didn't want that. I wanted to get rid of these things. Now I'm stuck with them.
Because how do you know that's what's even in there?
I don't know what's in there.
It could be a fucking box. It could be a bag of marbles in there. And they're just like, oh, yeah, there you go.
There you go. There's Buster. Take it.
Thanks for the extra $80.
That might be a fucking scam, the whole cremating your pet thing. Because, why... How would you just get a fucking Duraflame log, burn it up, and then scoop it in the box and go,
scoop it.
There's Whiskers.
Yeah. Boys, a hard run here. Took a lot out of us to do this.
Whiskers. That'll be $300. That's a fucking scam.
It's a scam.
And there's just a fucking bunch of dead animals in the dumpster behind the
building.
They
don't care. They're not even burning anything.
That trick shot person.
Exactly. Ain't burning shit. Exactly. Exactly.
So
now it would have helped to have had alt-right Cody here.
Yeah.
But oh man, I finally saw Dune. Have you seen the first Dune?
No, I got to see the first one so I can go see the second one.
It's fucking good.
I've heard the second one is really good.
Well, I haven't seen the second one yet. I just saw the first one.
Oh, the first one? I got to see the first one.
It's good.
I haven't seen either one of them.
It's good, and it chops out all the bullshit that makes reading the book a slog. Because the first book is a motherfucker to get through at the beginning. Then it gets great.
I just remember the movie from when I was a kid and being massively disappointed.
Well, here's the thing.
I still hold on to that.
Here's the good news. That movie is like as if a 5-year-old told David Lynch what happened in the Dune book, and he was like, all right. And he just took that and said, everything that kid said, let's just make this movie. That's really how... wait, what the fuck?
I just remember being so bored from that movie, and then the one scene where I think Sting gets stabbed up under the throat, and then you see the knife in his mouth.
Yeah,
that's all I remember. Right. That's all I remember.
Right, and so it looks like the first. This was a very commendable job because this dude took the most boring part of the Dune book and made it a really good movie, and then now. I think that's why everybody's so hyped about this second one, because it's the second half of the first book, the part 2 movie.
Oh, okay.
And it's all the good. It's just, whoa. It's, you know what I mean? So
the first one's just a lot of setup, and then the second one's go time.
But this guy did set up so well with this movie. And yes, the second one is go time, and that's why everyone's saying it's a masterpiece, because it's just go time. It's going to be, but he did such a great job of setting up go time. Does that make sense? He did such a great job of setting up go time.
I want to see it. I'm interested in seeing it. I didn't, when it first came out and I heard they were making Dune, I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
And I heard it was 3 hours. I'm like, I don't want to
I give even less of a fuck. Yeah.
Even less. You can 3-hour in-game me, but that's because you have 20 films before that and I'm interested in the payoff.
Exactly.
But if they opened up with 3 hours, I'm like,
man, fuck out of here. 3-hour Iron Man. Ain't nobody watching that. But I will say this. About Dune, and Frank Herbert. Look, this first of all, he's dead, so this critique won't matter. And he made so much money off these things. His family, his grandkids are still collecting bank off this, right? But I liked everything about Dune when I finally committed to reading it, right?
Sure.
Except one thing.
What?
What's his face? Not Batista, but the other guy, Aquaman. What's his fucking name?
Oh,
Khal Drogo. Jesus Christ.
What's he say? Everybody loves him. Jason Momoa.
Jason Momoa. The guy who, like, you just look at a picture and you think that's the biggest douchebag on the planet. But then if you spend 5 minutes with him, he's your best friend. He's that kind of guy.
You have his balls in your mouth.
You just love him. You're like, I fucking love this guy. This guy's fucking hilarious. He's a riot. Like, that's... Anyway, Jason Momoa's character... And I had a hard time with this reading the book. And every time they say his name in the movie, Andrea would snicker because it's just weird. Duncan, Idaho.
Duncan, Idaho.
Yeah, they mailed that in. He did. He just
that's a first and last name, or is that one name?
That's the whole name, first and last. Duncan.
So
Idaho.
His name is Duncan and then Idaho.
Idaho.
Duncan, Idaho. Duncan,
yeah,
Idaho.
No, just Duncan.
Idaho.
It's a town in Idaho. Like, where are you from? Oh, Duncan, Idaho. That's
Duncan,
right.
Idaho.
Duncan, Idaho.
That's weak.
He mailed that motherfucker in bad.
Yeah.
He was like, ooh, okay. Fuck it.
I thought Grogu was a poor choice, and they went
Grogu was rough. This is
Grogu is fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi compared to Duncan, Idaho.
Absolute Duncan, Idaho. And then he calls their flying helicopter-y things that look more like dragonflies. He called them thopters. So those are the two things where he just kind of he just mailed
that's a fucking cobra. That's a Cobra vehicle right there.
That is the Cobra Thopter. Yeah, this was
something from that's the Hasbro line of G.I. Joe.
But like the shit we don't talk about. That's like the stuff that's like early '90s when they're all like neon colored and shit, and we stopped. That's when it's the Thopter, the Cobra Thopter. Duncan, Idaho is the worst named character, maybe in movie, maybe in anything.
I think in fictional character history.
That's top 5, isn't it? Worst name you've
Duncan,
ever
Idaho.
heard.
Like Ron Mexico's a better name than Duncan, Idaho. Ron Mexico.
That's the title. Eddie, that's the title.
Duncan.
Ron Mexico is a better name
than Duncan, Idaho.
Actually, Ron Mexico, how great of a name would that be? If that was his name.
His name in Dune, Ron Mexico.
His Dune, like, and that's where fucking that's where Vic got it from. Like, how great would that be if Vic's inspiration to spread herpes
was Ron Mexico from Dune?
That was Michael Vick's inspiration to go spread herpes.
Duncan, Idaho.
Duncan, Idaho. So you will snicker every time. It's like a fart in the middle of a class. You're just like, okay.
Okay.
Ooh, didn't need that. Trying to hold it together here. But it's still very, very, very. The first Dune's so fucking good.
All right. I got to watch it.
You got to watch it. And then we'll go see part 2 together as men.
That sounds like a plan.
Yeah. And then now... I also finished something that my godson had been bugging me to finish. Eddie, you ever watch any anime? Any Dragon Ball Z's, or was it Robotech and that it was Robotech?
Robotech is kind of where I peaked with it, and that was
right. Or Voltron, Robotech.
Voltron, but I think like Voltron
because we didn't
really
know that was anime from another country. We didn't know.
No, that just seemed like a cool ass cartoon.
It didn't really. The Transformers were too, and so was remember the Battle of the Planets or whatever, the guys all had the fucking bird-looking helmets. The helmets that looked like beaks, the multicolored.
Yeah.
That was... I guess, does Speed Racer count as anime? Anyway.
I think Speed Racer's anime.
So my godson, my nephew, Carlos, would not shut up about telling I have to watch Hunter x Hunter. And I've seen Dragon Ball Z, and I really enjoyed it. But I got to say something, man. There's 6 seasons of Hunter x Hunter. I just finished the 5th one.
Okay.
It's better than Dragon Ball Z. It's better. I don't want to piss off any of the anime ramblers, but this shit is better than Dragon Ball Z. And
I don't know.
And there's a story arc. The big bad of season 5. There are these race of creatures called Chimera ants, and they just they assimilate humans. And then they also assimilate any other creatures that get near them. So, like, there's, like, even though they are ants and they all serve the queen, right? They are, like, one will look like a leopard, like a humanoid leopard, right? Another looks like a giant rhino, whatever, right?
Okay.
and their king is born, and in the middle of season 5, and he's the big bad. And at first, he's just like, he's newborn, but he comes out. He's obviously part human, but he's already hyper intelligent, but just pure evil. Just humans are food to us. That's it, right?
Okay.
And then he even takes over a nation and kind of makes that his headquarters. Like, he just walked, just like a Kim Jong-un-esque dictator. He just obliterates, takes his place, like, fuck that, and we're just going to harvest all the people of this nation. And during this time, he's getting bored, and so he starts trying to learn how to play, like, games, like chess and shit like that. Mm-hmm. And so they bring in these champions of all these different competitions, like, and he's these mental games, and he just obliterates, and he kills him when he's done. Like, well, that guy sucked. Boom, he kills him, right? Okay. And then there's this game, I think it was made for this show, and the expert at it is like this, literally like just this dumb, simple, blind redneck chick who just happens to be a master at this game, and she whoops his ass every time, and he can't, but he starts to enjoy it. And he actually starts to enjoy the camaraderie with her. And it was a fascinating thing. But let me just say, it was such good television, such good storytelling. But by the end of his arc, by the end of the season, and it was great. I don't want this to take anything away from Hunter x Hunter Season 5 and Meruem, the king ant. Okay?
Okay. Sure.
But when his arc was over, I only thought of one thing, Eddie, and you'll appreciate this. And maybe this would be a selling point.
Maybe.
And my cousin was he was telling me like what he loved about the arc, and everything he said was right. But I told him, but there's a way more succinct way to describe this character and the arc that this great character has. Mm-hmm. And all you have to say is, of all the souls I've encountered on my travels, his was a most human. Like, there it is. That's all you need. And I guess my question to you, it was a long walk to get there, but my question to you, Eddie, is that when you know you've told a great story? Is that how you know? If you can just sum it up with, of all the souls I've encountered on my travels, his was the most human. Human. Is that... Have you peaked as a storyteller? Do you get what I'm saying?
If you can end and your last word, you crack.
Right, but that sentence, that sentence
can sum up your life,
you
end with the crack.
Did you tell a great story? I don't see how you. I mean, Breaking Bad could end like that. Yeah. The Sopranos could end like that.
Now, this is out of left field, but I think you could literally end your cancer hour with that line.
With that, thank you. Okay. What?
Of course, you're saying yours was the most human, but it still
that'd be weird, but it still works. When Shawn Michaels beat Ric Flair, if he just grabbed the mic and said that, what happens then? What happens then? Is there a dry eye left?
It's the last WrestleMania because you don't top it.
Where do you go? You have to cancel WrestleMania. Vince has to be like, all right, shut it down. He's just done.
Except for the sex trade. We'll keep that going. We'll keep the sex trade going.
If all Shawn Michaels said after he beat Ric Flair, he just grabbed of all the souls I've encountered in my travels, his was the most human. I think that's how you know you've told the best story. Does that make sense?
I believe so.
Could they have not?
I believe so.
Avengers Endgame. Is it not better if it's a double eulogy for Thanos and Tony? With those words spoken for each one of them?
Yeah.
And what if they say it for each other? Human. Like Thanos' ghost says that for Tony, Tony's ghost says that for
human.
Or
just say when they're putting at the end of Endgame when she's Pepper Potts is putting the little heart thing out under the river. Yeah. You just cut over to Captain Kirk standing there,
and he says it.
The eulogy.
It's the last one. He lets out. It's the last one.
Is that the best ending to Endgame? He's there in his Star Trek uniform and he just says that line.
Well, how big is there a pop from our section of the theater? How big is the pop from our section?
Cuts over to Kirk saying that line. I don't know. There's no dry eye in the house at that point. I don't think.
$1 Million Baby when fucking Clint Eastwood euthanizes a fucking chick, and then it's just Kirk is just there.
It's the most human.
Hers was a moo. Human.
Every drama should end that way. Every drama should end with him.
How could it not?
I don't know.
Wouldn't it have been better if Steel Magnolias when they're at Julia Roberts' funeral and then he walks out at the end?
Hers was the most human.
And even though Julia Roberts was not military, should he still do the
and then they play
the bagpipes. Amazing Grace.
And then they catapult her into a lake. Everybody's like, what the fuck is happening?
What is going on right now? Oh, fuck. And then should every movie end with Spock going, space, the final frontier? I mean, right? Every movie, if we just think about this.
Every movie should end the way Star Trek 2 ends.
Titanic. How big of a pop?
The Godfather Part 2 should end the way Star Trek 2 ends.
You see, the first Godfather, you see the door slammed on fucking, what's her name? Kate. Who was the actress? Fuck, Annie Hall. Fuck.
Yeah.
God damn it. All right, I'm looking.
And no,
is that it? All the Ramblers are yelling at us right now.
It's fine.
They're all yelling at us. They're yelling at Diane Keaton.
Annie
so as they slam the door on Diane Keaton,
old glove hands herself.
Old glove hands. As Michael's getting sworn in as the new boss, and they slam the door on her. Bum bum. Space. The final frontier. Dun, 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 dun. How much better is that?
How much better is Godfather 3 if they end it that way? That's
probably Coppola goes 3 for 3 and gets the Oscar for that one too.
Right?
I would think.
Right?
I would think. Goodfellas. You just see Joe Pesci firing the gun. Space.
Final frontier. The final frontier.
These are the voyages of the starship. Supposedly go where no man has gone before. But I mean, as much fun as this was,
been a blast.
It's been a great time, but I have some bad news.
Skeletor.
We have contractual. There you go.
I know, fuck. Skeletor. We were just talking about the way to end a great movie.
Oh yeah.
How do you feel a movie should end? Like, what's the best way to end a movie?
Eddie, that's a wonderful question, and I'm glad that you've asked me. It's a tough question because there's so many different genres in cinema. There's so many different types of film, and what might work for one would not necessarily work for the other. But I think I just from my personal experience, I think every movie ends best when I'm coming in someone's mouth. I think that whether they want it or not, I think that's how you end a goddamn movie. You know what I mean? And, of course, you say, well, how could you do such a thing, big ass? Wouldn't other people in the theater get upset or call security or complain? Well, I do it in the largest cinema we have in Eternia. It seats over 700,000 people, just one movie theater. And it's in the right-hand corner of He-Man's mother's pussy! Because she's got such a giant vagina. That whore! But, movies should end with me coming in someone's mouth. That's the best way. Every time.
Sure. Send us up, Cody. Let's get him back.
Let's get
him on Rotten Tomatoes.
We got a LaQuisha, Crocodile Dundee mishaps.
Got to fix those problems.
Yeah, that's you definitely.
Milo and Otis with the dog and the cat. There I am, coming in someone's mouth.
5 days a week, patreon.com,
Yeah.
the Ralph Report.
Right.
Tuesdays, Wednesdays for Ramble. Well, Tuesdays, Fridays, Ramble Proper. Wednesdays. Or Tuesdays, Fridays, Ramble. God, he's got me thrown off. Ramble
sucks.
Proper on Wednesdays. Yes.
There it is, right there. All right. Well, you can find me in the same Ramble locales. You can find Eddie and Cody. And you can also see me streaming video games, Retro Rocha on Kick and Twitch, or just my name on YouTube. Find us, love us. Eddie, do you think it would kill him to subscribe to the fucking Ramble, to give it a 5-star rating and a positive text review? Apparently it might. Because
if for no other reason to knock Zach Dahlem off the perch.
Hey, keep him up. He deserves it.
He deserves it, but you don't.
He's getting a statue.
We don't have a ruler. There's no king.
I know.
There shouldn't be a king.
There shouldn't be, not for this. But
not for this.
Anyway, we love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow for a regular Ramble. Until then, stay safe, everybody. Take care. We love you.